Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We're back over at EWT America today, and we'll probably be here for a couple days actually. Got a couple of projects going on. Quad track needs serviced, and this pit is the bee's knees for taking care of servicing anything really. So I've been over here a couple of times with Steve to show you guys this pit, but if it's your first time seeing this, so this is basically an any level shop pit floor. He is the one that gets these built, comes and installs them in your shops, goes all over the place, Canada, anywhere in the US, he brings them to you and gets them installed into your shop pits. I think pretty much can fit any shop pit. The width, I think, is kind of a standard thing. I don't know, he might be able to go wider with them. That'd be something you have to talk about. That looks like it's probably a 60 footer that he's got rigged up here. He did last week have an 80 or a 90 footer that he had to go all the way through there to get in and out of. But basically, what you can do is control this shop pit by a remote. So the floor of the pit goes down and exposes the pit. So when your pit's closed, you don't have anything over it, you can walk over it. Some people like to ask about driving over it. I think there is a weight restriction in terms of how much weight you can actually drive onto the pit. That's a great question. If you have those questions, to talk to Steve. Steve's a little under the weather here today, otherwise he'd be out here chatting with us about it. But we'll be showing you kind of how we can use this pit to work on this quad track, service quite a few things here. It's snowing outside, it's warm in here, and we've got good light and access to 20 bogey wheels that we've got to change. Plus we've got an engine oil leak and change that we've got to take care of. Fuel filters, hydraulic filters. I've got a fuel shutoff solenoid that needs worked on. We've got work to do is basically what that comes down to. Oh, and I see that I got a bracket here broken that I'm gonna want to probably get pinned back up because that's working on that hose and I don't need to blow that. We don't know what we're gonna get into. First thing we're gonna do is drop the oil, and then later on in the video, maybe we'll show you some more of the specs of the pit itself. So let's get to work. Jake pointed out we might be fighting over the height of the shop pit today because there's a little bit of height difference in between the two of it. So Steve's doing some R&D on blocks for if you happen to be working with a heightly challenged person that they can vertically challenged person that you two can be in the pit together. If you see Jake carrying around a 6x6 block, you're gonna know why.
Or a 5-gallon bucket.
Yeah. There. Yeah, I need to get new plugs.
Patience real.
You're close. Is there a copper flange on that or copper deal on that? Hey, get ready to move the bucket out of the way. Ready? We're gonna have to do it one more time. Ready? Yep. I think we ended up putting like 130 hours on this tractor during harvest.
There's a rubber.
There's a rubber O-ring? Okay. It's not a clamp. Throw that pliers, you found another one. There we go. With the filter numbers on it. Mm, 24, 25, 20, yeah, thank you. 49, 100. They like how they're like, oh, well, we'll just put all these hoses all the way around the filter. So as I'm writing my numbers on here, What do you guys write on your filters to keep track of it? I mean, some people keep whole logs, service logs of the tractors and stuff. I tried that when I started buying tractors, but that fell by the way. Like, I guess I write down the bigger stuff into it, but it would be nice. I should keep an exact log of when things are done. But what do you guys write on your filters? How do you keep track of service records on tractors? And then the other thing that I'm curious about is how do you keep track of, like, do you guys have a filter list and stuff for all your tractors? Coming up with a good way to do that would be nice, because now I remember, which was 2 years ago, basically, the last time this thing got serviced. I have 2 of those hydraulic filters, which is one of those ones that were where Jake is. And now, because I didn't have my list, I'm going back to get another one of those. This one actually did a really good job. Some, basically, I don't know if I had bad diesel fuel or something, but we were having trouble with it. And it helped significantly. So here's this little filter. You can see how dirty that sucker is. Yeah, that's not ideal. I've shocked my tank, and I probably need to go buy like 3 of these and change it significantly quickly. A few run times, like change it every day or something like that for a little while when it starts. I think the next thing it's gonna do is pull anhydrous. Look at them out there. Yeah, thing would have snapped and I would have been in bad shape. We've just about got all the fluids out of it, and as you can tell, we're getting dirtier and dirtier. And it's just about lunchtime. Jake's putting the engine oil back in it. So engine oil, that's a fuel filter. That little solenoid right there at the end of my tip of my finger there is the one that's been leaking on us. I replaced parts of it, but I didn't replace the whole thing. This time I've just ordered it to replace the whole entire thing. Once the oil is topped off, we're probably gonna go to lunch. But I have all of the inside bogey wheels prepped to take the caps off of. That tube is made by Springfield. I'll link it down in the description, but it's Springfield Manufacturing or something like that. And it really helps taking the oil out of these. Sometimes you see guys with like duct taped things and stuff onto these. Keeps the oil off of your tracks. But I had to go around, wire brush all of these bogey wheels here so far to get those cleaned off. This will work really nice. And then we'll end up flipping the quad track to one side and then the other so that we can stand here at eye level and change the oil on those. Get another one of these filters. That'll be a Monday thing for it. The other thing that we have to work on this quad track is that I installed steering there a couple years ago and it never really worked right. So I ended up just putting a steering system onto the quad track around the steering wheel. So we're gonna be taking that other parts out of it. And then I've got a couple of cables that we've got to get rid of, or I guess get installed, because we also installed an isobus system which to be able to run anhydrous bar that we're supposedly getting. So there you go, Springfield, manufactured by Springfield. There's the information about those guys. That's the Landau arm thing that I also got going for that. It holds your hydraulic hoses up in the air. Oh, and then I got a bracket that I need to work with on the inside here because it's got something going on where it's rubbing on one of my tubes. Got the air filter that we need to change too. We still got some work to do, I guess is the answer to this. So, but we're clipping through it. Right, Jake?
Sure are.
Oh, and we need to also check the coolant system. Make sure we got all the proper levels on it. These big tractors are nice, but man, they take a lot of service in to service them. A lot. Tell you what, I don't know how you would service one of these things without having a pit or something like that, because we've cut down on so much time not crawling in, out of there, onto your belly, out of your belly, crawling through there. I've only bumped my head once, but These would be a nightmare to service without a pit.
Tall man problems. I hit my head once.
Pinch it. Pinch and pray. No. Just like that. One side. And then just, yeah, kind of walking around it. And like, and just, yep, like that. There you go. Set that there, and then they just pop like so. There's an O-ring behind there. I'd personally suggest buying 2 of these pipes because it takes a while for these to drain. Like they need to just drain for a while. And
What were you looking for?
that box right there. They take a while to drain. Save yourself some time if you bought 2 of them. If somebody knows where you can buy the metal plugs for these things like that you can use a drill on, link them in the description for me or in the comments. I tried to find them. I couldn't. I really wanted a pair.
Everyone seems a damn genius
There you go, put it
lately.
together.
TikTok talking,
There you
late
go.
night TV is still so much I have yet to know. Get dressed up just to go downtown in some ego-filled late night crowd. Seems to be where I feel most alone. I like to get lost on some old back road, find a shade tree and a honey hole, and talk to my grandpa again. And I see God in everything, trees in pain and nights in the spring. So why do I still long for a home? I like to lay in a field on a cozy blanket and feel the fear of never waking, to know the true warmth of the sun. I like to love my lady long and hard and lay down lines of layman guitar, never leave her loving arms again. My exes hate me and my friends all miss me. I want
We have clean bogey wheel oils, 50% done. So we're doing really pretty good. So having a second hand to do this job speeds it up significantly. So I've got to take off one clip deal. I got to take this off so I have it for Monday. And then we're gonna probably change that solenoid because we might smell like diesel fuel at the end of that, and then we don't have to smell like diesel fuel on Monday when we try that. So we'll do that real quick. It's my bane to my existence lately. It's working fine, but it's leaking diesel fuel out the bottom of it. Okay.
drown in a rock-cut whiskey, leave this small town
Solenoid.
for a while. Heading to Paris on a late night flight, find a bar and get in a fight, write a few poems on a sunny balcony. I Wanna be a child climbing trees somewhere, breathing in the fresh outside air. Before I knew this life was unkind. I want a well-trained dog on a couple of acres, a kind lady and a place to take her. A few good friends I can count on one of my hands. I know I'm bound to die one day, so when I reach those golden gates, I pray to say I did the best I can. Sit with my mother and the dearly departed, send a prayer down to the broken-hearted, let them know it all turns out just fine. To know me is to love me, and to hate me is to wrong me. I prefer my not so lonely love blues guitar, muscle cars and gin. I'm a simple man, I don't need much, just some simple songs and some human touch. I'm tired now, so I'm bringing mine home. So let me go.
We've had all the fuel filters off, so we're gonna let it rumble for a second. As it's doing that, I've had this idea about like the paint's kind of a little starting to fade on this tractor. So I had the idea of either finding somebody, and I don't think there's anybody around Southern Iowa that does the polishes and then ceramic coats it or whatever. So I had the idea of possibly well, you could leave it alone, so this would just be a money spending type of thing, but maybe putting a wrap, like a kind of like a jet fighter-ish looking wrap onto the quad track, branded a little bit or something along those lines. Maybe the hood, some part of the back tanks or something along those lines. Let me know what you guys kind of think of that idea. There's a shop in town that could do it. I kind of talked to them about it a little bit, but what would you guys think about a non-red, almost dark gray, kind of black looking quad track? Would that be or wait, no, it'd be or woo? You like that one, Jake? Did it shut the fuel pump off itself? Hit it.
That'd be good. All right, shut her down.
We'll see you guys Monday to finish this. Quite a bit of work done. Air filters and GPS stuff and 4 more bogey wheels. So probably won't show you guys any more bogey wheels. I'll show you kind of maybe how we set it off to the side, but you guys got the point on the bogey wheels. Okay. Monday. Yep, Monday, back to the pit business. We've already this side done here. We're down to this last side. This is something that basically you wouldn't really think about of having a pit that is a nice feature, is the fact that you can pull up alongside something, and if you watch anybody's videos about, they have a cat tractor or something along those lines and they're always bent over trying to work on it. There's a lot of things that you could try and work on and you're bent over. You pull it up alongside the pit here, you lower the pit to the level that you want to be standing at, and then you can work on what you're working on at a workable level, a comfortable level that you're not bending over and doing excess wear and tear on your body, because I do have fingers crossed by the time my body's worn out that they can just sew me on a new trade-in arm or something like that. But I think that's a little ways away. Elon's got some more work to do before he can get to that one. So, all right, we're gonna finish this part. Then we're probably gonna quit for the day, and then I'll pick back up with you guys again tomorrow. But I just wanted to show you guys this feature here, which I think is really darn cool, and what you don't think about when you think about having a shot pit. Hold on. If you guys haven't seen this, the first 9 seconds of the Canada-US hockey game, 3 fights in 9 seconds. Have you seen that, Jake? 3 fights, 9 seconds. That's better than the Tyson-Paul fight. We're back here. The weather outside makes you wish you went to college. The problem is that I went to college and I'm still in the weather. So we gotten a couple of things done, or I did a couple of things off camera yesterday when it was bitterly cold. Jake couldn't get his truck started, so basically I was one-handed, or just me yesterday. Well, one-handed, because if I got to film what I'm doing, I only got one hand. Anyway, long story short. Did get the little bit of bracket, the rub bracket that was up there in the corner. Filmed a little bit of that. We got it fixed. I do need to get another air filter from Case, but we're close on that. I got the big one put in there, but there's a top one that for some reason I didn't get. Well, I didn't get any air filters, but I know I didn't get the top one. Coolant system topped off, and then we have been working on the CAN bus system. Not the CAN bus system, the ISO bus system. Jake's got this wire, the longer one that we needed, ran up to the cab. We have been rewiring and rerunning wires here. So we took the steering system for the hydraulics out of it. I think that I'm going to be putting that into the Hagee and taking the GeoSteer system out of the Hagee and putting that into the Hagee, and then running probably TerraStar X in the Hagee. So we'll have basically RTK in the Hagee. Probably be able to flip the globes on that, pull anhydrous with the RTK, plant with the RTK, and then when we go pass to pass in the crop, we'll put the RTK on the globe. That, or I just unlock, or I pay for 2 TerraStar X subscriptions. So we have been, Jake can show you. Oh, and then I did modify, show him my modification on the flipper knob. When Jake was running the wire, I got it so there's a groove in there now, so we can actually get around it. So that modification's been done. We're getting this thing serviced up. So
cleaning up Ben's rat mess of the wire.
It's not my rat mess. My rat mess was clean. Everybody else's rat mess got piled on top of my rat mess, and then it made it into a rat mess. We've got scale stuff in here, like it just, yeah. Too many wires in a 1 pound box. So we're making it so that I can find connections if I need to find the connections. Oh, and then I think that I'm going to probably wire the power switch into the controller for the tile plow. So that way I don't have to disconnect the power and reconnect the power. I'm just gonna put a toggle switch in there. So, to work.
Down the line, let me feel it all. Your pain in the sky, so let me go. Down the line, we all burn, burn, burn and die. So let me go down the line. I wanna feel it all, joy, pain, and sky. So let me go down the line. We all burn, burn, burn and then die. So let me go down the line. I wanna feel it all, joy, pain, and the sky. So let me go down the line. We all burn, burn, burn and die.
We've got the cab redone, so that gets this pretty well ready to go. We got, what's this wire that's loose? We got one loose wire in here. Gonna need to tuck in, but speakers remounted, radios remounted. Built a little bracket for the Kinsey grain carts holder. This here, which I thought it was on time lapse, but it isn't. But I put the toggle switch into the plow control so that I don't have to unhook it and hook it. I can just turn the power on that way. That's done. This here is this controller. You can see now it has this bevel into it. That'll allow it to go around the steady steer system. That's secured in here. That pretty much gets this cab into pretty good shape. Other than, where the heck is this wire coming from? What is this one? Did some of my wires come out or something? I'm gonna figure that out because I had that so tucked in there neatly that I want to leave it that way. So we're in pretty good situation in terms of the cap being ready to go, and now hopefully this is ready for its job of pulling anhydrous. So let me go show you a couple more features on the pit that you guys might be interested in. So a couple of the features you guys might be wondering about is how deep the pit goes. The pits go to about 6 foot deep. That's how, well, you can stop at any spot, but like 6 foot deep is how deep they go. Just about 6 foot deep. They have, it's wired so that the lights on this pit turn on automatically. At each end of the pit, there is a ladder. And then if you needed to get under the pit with the floor up, there is a flip over plate that allows you to get underneath the pit with a ladder chained to the bottom side that allows you to go down and into the pit, which you can go see. There's a ladder over here. I'll show you closer up of that. The weight limit on the pit is 2,000 pounds. You can put 2,000 pounds onto the floor. And there's one of the ladders that you would be able to go down into with. Steve, the man working over there, getting ready to go install another one, will be the man that you call. Anything we want to tell him that you think that I've missed?
Well, Ben's used this pit numerous times, and I think he has a pretty good handle on what its capacity is and what its capabilities are. It just depends on what works best for you, what equipment you have. This pit is only 32 foot long. We do have one scheduled that's 90 foot long. So it depends on what you have for equipment, how you want to use it, but it's there to make life easier for you. way easier.
Oh, so for instance, we're going to kind of tell you how these are kind of installed, which he's got one that's that 90 footer that we talked about earlier. We're going to go see it on the trailer, but he's basically got a rig. He rigs it up. He tests everything on a stand before they come to the pits. And then he has a rig that allows them to basically take the trailer off and then lower the actual assembly into your pit. So this one is ready to go. Where's this one headed to? You keep Michigan. This one's going to Michigan. But this is 90-foot pit, right?
Correct.
So one that comes on this the trailer, and it actually kind of uses part of the pit as the frame. But that's what he can drive into your shop and then install it right into your pit. This one's the triple decker that I was very curious about when he was telling me that he was putting it together. But that is a 90-foot pit that's ready to be installed. So this is how he comes to your place to install it. So, and basically, Steve, he doesn't build your pits like the actual pit. It's the platforms and the electronics to control your pit. And he, if you reach out to him via email, he'll send you like all the information if you're wanting to build a new shop pit or something along those lines that work really well to fit one of these in. So send Steve an email or give him a shout, and he'll get you all the information, technical details to kind of get one of these into your own place.
EWTAmerica.com, and just go to the bottom of the page and fill out the request for information, and I'd be delighted to send you a boatload of information.
So there we go. I think that's quad track serviced, and on to the next project.